About 2 years ago, Congress and the president allocated about $7 billion to expand broadband access and stimulate job creation across the nation. This is part of this program is known as BTOP, or Broadband Technology Opportunities Program. And that includes money for infrastructure, public computing centers, and sustainable broadband adoption. Here in Urbana, we received $22.5 million in infrastructure grant. We were totally thrilled to receive this grant. And we'll be putting in fiber loops to connect community centers such as schools, libraries, and our independent media center. It will also it'll also include fiber to the home for hundreds of residents in underserved areas in our town. Urbana IMC members really led the grassroots and public input effort for the grant, which helped to bring the community together, especially folks from the target neighborhood.
It'll be wonderful to hook up the neighborhoods and the anchor institutions that are covered by this grant. The one interesting thing is it kind of flips the digital divide. After this is built, the most low-income neighborhoods in our community will have the fastest and highest speed internet, and then the rest of the community will be sitting on the sidelines wondering, when can I get connectivity that good?
Digital justice prioritizes the participation of people who have been traditionally excluded from and attacked by media and technology. Digital justice advances community-based economic development by expanding technology access for small businesses, independent artists, and other entrepreneurs. Digital justice values non-digital forms of communication and fosters knowledge sharing across generations. Digital justice integrates media and technology into education in order to transform teaching and learning, to value multiple learning styles, and to expand the process of learning beyond the classroom and across the lifespan. Digital justice provides space through which people can investigate community problems, generate solutions, create media, and organize together.
So throughout the city, there's going to be over 70 computer labs, and those computer labs are a whole range from size anywhere from 4 computers to 25 computers, and location. They're actually spread across areas of the city that were identified as areas with the most need, areas where people are low-wage workers, where the education system doesn't reach people in the ways that it needs to.
People who are at high risk for HIV are the same, in many cases, the same people who are disenfranchised in many other ways. So they are living in some of the most impoverished neighborhoods. They have a history of incarceration. They have a history of homelessness. And are the people that are most or least likely to have access to the internet.
We've had some amazing partners in getting BTOP. Mark two, one is New America Foundation, and they are obviously in these grants to this day. Beth McConnell called a meeting in DC that brought together grassroots organizations and DC groups to really understand what was possible. Without that, Philadelphia would not have these stimulus funds. We see BTOP as a way to build a new city, right? Not just to get people online. Broadband adoption is meaningless if it's not connected to the core socioeconomic problems that plague urban America and urban Philadelphia.
Community Radio Act is a bill that was passed in the very last hours of the last Congress that would allow thousands of new community radio stations to be built around the country. It repeals a prohibition that was put on community broadcasting by the big commercial broadcasting industry that prevented small neighborhood organizations from having a radio station of their own. That's gone now, and now the airwaves are a little bit freer for all the rest of us to build radio stations and operate them around the country.
For well over 10 years, organizations all over the United States really wanted to build their own community radio organizations, their own community radio stations, or groups wanted to do that, primarily because radio was inexpensive, it was a medium that everyone listened to. They came together no matter what they believed, whether they were different or the same, and advocated really hard, targeted their own legislators really hard, even if they had been bought out by big corporations, big radio stations, big radio lobbies that didn't want any more voices on the air.
It's about having different voices on the news and perspectives on what's going on in the world around us, but for me it's about more than that. It's also about reinvigorating local culture, and it's about participating in making media and having a place where people can debate the issues and a place where people can solve local problems.
Folks like Future of Music would be organizing musicians. National Hispanic Media Coalition would be collecting incredible letters of support and pushing on important leaders on various committees that they had relationships with. Groups like the Leadership Conference for Civil and Human Rights, like religious organizations like the United Church of Christ, all of these organizations, far too many to name, legal institutions like Media Access Project, consumers groups like Consumers Union, like all of the incredible groups, the online organizers at Free Press, they came together really, really deeply and were like, this is a role I'll play.
It's starting to show that the movement has the capacity to make a difference and to affect political outcomes.